Hokage, Invincible Opening, Fury Konoha. Like, share and subscribe. Episode 61. Recruitment Order. Junior Recruitment Order, 500 gold coins. There is a certain chance of recruiting ninjas, clearing all their negative status, and making the target have a great impression of the host and their forces. Intermediate Recruitment Order, 2000 gold coins, has a higher chance of recruiting ninjas, clears all their negative statuses, and makes the target have a great impression of the host and its affiliated forces. Advanced Recruitment Order, 5000 gold coins, has a higher chance of recruiting ninjas, clearing all their negative status, and making the target have a great impression of the host and its affiliated forces. This is what Natsume selected from the system. It is possible to crack the exchange item of the Caged Bird Curse Seal. In fact, this recruitment order is similar to the weakened version of Tianshun. As long as there is enough chakra, Tianshun can directly invade the opponent's brain and modify the opponent's will without being discovered by the opponent. Can be called the strongest illusion. And recruitment order can also invisibly reverse the thinking of the target, so that it has a great impression of the host and the forces it belongs to, and let the other party use it for itself. However, different levels of recruitment orders have different chances of success. It is far from being able to achieve a nearly 100% success rate like Tianshun. However, there are also advantages such as affordable prices and no number of exchanges. Certainly. What Natsume values most is the so-called clear all negative status effect. Although Natsume is not sure. Is this Caged Bird Curse Seal a negative image on Hinata branch ninjas? However, there is no harm in giving it a try. If successful, you can harvest a white-eyed ninja with good potential. And this recruitment order will also become a sharp weapon to crack the Caged Bird Curse Seal and become a super bargaining chip to restrain the Hyuga sect. If it fails, it's just a loss of 500 gold coins. Big deal. When I turn back, I'll go to the Konoha vault and bring some souvenirs. There will never be a loss. At the same time, after a short period of shock and expectation, the heart of this Hyuga Fugaku also quickly calmed down and darkened. And angrily said, "Evil Uchiha Natsume, don't try to trick me. What did you lie to? Lied to you that it can unlock your curse seal? Even if you can't solve it, will it affect you? Your life is in my hands, do I need to deliberately lie to you?" Natsume, this comes from a soul-like question. Hyuga Fugaku was shocked again. It seems that this is the reason. There is no need for the other party to lie to me at all. Even if the other party really rolled their eyes and plotted against the Hyuga family. You should also go to the top of the family. Instead of coaxing myself to be such a root ninja who has no right to speak. In case what the other party said is true. If there is really a way to unlock the curse seal, then I am willing to give everything for it. What exactly do you want? It doesn't matter what I want. The important thing is whether you want to unlock the seal. You really have a way? You'll know if you don't try it. Hyuga Fugaku hesitated, but was obviously moved. What are you hesitating for? Or, do you still want to be a dog of the Zong family all your life? Live forever under the glory of the clan? Natsume humiliated again. Hyuga Fugaku blushed, gritted her teeth, and agreed cruelly. I do. Bring it on. If it were someone else who proposed such a crazy proposal to himself, he would definitely sneer at it. But it was this 10-year-old Uchiha genius who opened the Kaleidoscopic Sharingan and successfully led his family to defect. Anyway, this brat has created many miracles. So why can't there be one more miracle? Very good. You will be extremely grateful for your choice at this moment. Natsume applauded. The reason why he let go of so much ridicule and humiliation. It is to draw out the anger in the other party's heart as much as possible, arouse the other party's emotional fluctuations, constantly weaken his psychological defense, and let him actively accept the recruitment. This increases the chances of successful recruitment. Don't know if it's useful though. But it was written like this in the novels of the previous life. If you don't try it, how do you know if it will work? Anyway, it's just talking and swearing at people. It doesn't cost money either. Excuse me, do you want to pay 500 gold coins to exchange junior recruitment order? Confirm. Next moment. With a flash of golden light, a delicate pale gold token appeared in Natsume's hand. Then, Xiaomu had a thought. Quickly launch the recruitment order. For a moment. Recruitment order quickly dissipated and turned into an invisible force, rippling. And it covered the Hyuga Fukagawa in front of him. There is no light, no special effects, and no coaxing visions. The junior recruitment order, exchanged for 500 gold coins, dissipated like farting. Xiaomu felt a thud in his heart, almost thinking that his 500 gold coins were for nothing. Yes, but in a few seconds, something magical happened. I saw, under the action of invisible force. The blue caged bird curse seal on Hyuga Fukagawa's forehead quickly dissipated and returned to nothingness. As if it had never appeared before. At the same time, Hyuga Fukagawa opened his eyes suddenly. Changed the previous resistance look. And with deep enthusiasm and admiration, he looked at Natsume in front of him. That fiery gaze made Natsume panic and couldn't help but take a half step back, feeling the back door tighten. Thank you, Natsume-sama. The curse seal is gone. The curse seal is finally gone. I'm finally free. Great, is this the real white eye without dead ends? Wonderful. Awesome. Hyuga Fukagawa exclaimed with joy and gratitude. It was like a free sparrow that really flew out of the cage, full of joy and vitality. There is nothing more relaxing and joyful than regaining freedom and putting your life in your own hands. At the same time. Seeing this, Natsume was also quite happy. The state of Hyuga Fukagawa has been proved. Recruitment order can indeed clear the caged bird curse seal. In this way, all the ninjas who are dissatisfied with the curse marks in the entire Hinata branch will become their targets of deception. With the recruitment order, it is definitely within reach that the entire Hyuga branch will be eroded. At this moment, Natsume can't wait to have a super long-range gun that belongs to him alone. The sniper team is here. What's more, once the recruitment order takes effect, the target ninja will even lean towards himself and Yenin village from the heart. It is estimated that in a short time, there is no need to worry that these recruited ninjas will secretly have different intentions and betray themselves. I really love this recruitment order. It is that the probability of success does not seem to be very high, and it needs to be grasped carefully. At this time, the 2 clones sent by Natsume just now also rushed back. I cleaned up 3 people here. I cleaned up 4 people here. The 2 avatars report. Hyuga Fukagawa, is the number right? Are there any other root ninjas in the orphanage? No more, a total of 9 people have been cleared. Hyuga Fukagawa reported truthfully. From this moment on, he is no longer a ninja of Konoha Hyuga clan. After all, once the caged bird curse is lifted, the Hyuga clan will definitely not let it go, a ninja who is out of control. It will absolutely not be tolerated, the existence of an unstable factor that knows how to lift the curse seal. As long as he is still alive and known by the Zong family, he will be hunted down endlessly by the Hyuga clan. Until death. Episode 62. After clearing out the root ninja inside the orphanage, Natsume immediately asked his several avatars to accompany Nonayu into it to search and rescue the children in the orphanage as much as possible. At the same time, Natsume's body continued to fool Hyuga Fukagawa. How does it feel? Excellent. Next, what are your plans? Willing to serve Natsume-sama. Without saying a word, Hyuga Fukagawa knelt down on the ground and solemnly swore to Natsume. This is not surprising. One reason, he, who has been dominated by the curse mark of the bird in the cage, didn't have much affection for the Hyuga clan and Konoha. Second, relying on the effect of the recruitment order, his favorability with Natsume and Yenin village increased greatly. 3 times, the curse seal has been removed, and the Hyuga clan can't tolerate him anymore. Therefore, besides joining Natsume, he had no other choice. And because of gratitude, I voluntarily serve others. And because of the curse seal, he was forced to work for the clan. These are 2 completely different feelings. How to choose, naturally needless to say. Very well, you are welcome to join. Natsume, who succeeded in the trick and successfully recruited, also showed a thick smile. And continued to ask. By the way, will the Zong family know after your caged bird curse seal is lifted? Hyuga Fukagawa, yes. Once the curse seal disappears, the clan will sense it instantly, and it's hard to hide it. Natsume, it's not a big problem. After a while, I will set fire to the entire orphanage and all the corpses so as to destroy the corpses. In this way, the members of the Zong family will only think that you died here too. They will not continue to investigate further. Thank you, my lord. Fugaku was taken aback for a moment, and then elated. In this way, once the branch Fugaku died, he would naturally be able to get rid of the pursuit of the clan. And bid farewell to my former self. Then Natsume continued to arrange. You stay in Konoha first. You are very familiar with the operation mode of Umbu and Root. I hope you can stay here and find out the specific locations of all the secret strongholds in Root. Obey. Fugaku touched his pair of white eyes that were finally complete and agreed with a firm tone. Just get rid of the shackles of the caged bird. He is confident that he will never lose to any Hyuga clansman again. Moreover, tasks like this to spy on intelligence and find secret strongholds. It is indeed very suitable for White Eyes, who has the ability to see through. As long as you don't take the initiative to expose it, it is almost impossible for the Hyuga clan to find out that you have lifted the seal alive. Therefore, I still need you. Quietly contact those ninjas who are resentful and dissatisfied with the main family. I think there must be a lot of ninjas who are separated from the family. They are already tired of the curse seal? Are you tired of the clan? As long as there is your instance. For freedom, for the truly glorious future of the Hyuga clan. I think those ninjas who are separated will make the right choice. Natsume raised the corner of his mouth and ordered again shamelessly. Even geniuses like Fugaku and Niji, who are separated from each other, can hardly resist the temptation to lift the caged bird curse seal. It is hard to resist the yearning for freedom. Come to think of it, other ninjas who are separated from each other will only scramble even more. If it goes well, the establishment of his own white-eyed long-range sniper force is already a certainty. This is digging the wall. What a beautiful thing. Cool. The only difficulty. It's just that I'm afraid that there are too many Hyuga branch ninjas dug up. I don't even have enough gold coins to exchange for recruitment order. After receiving the order, Fugaku quickly put on a mask to hide himself. Going to perform the tasks of spying and digging the wall. In all fairness, he has been dominated by the caged bird curse seal for so many years, and he has lived in unwillingness and fear for so many years. At this moment, once liberated. Naturally, he also wants to take the rest of the ninjas and escape together. I even want to see what kind of frightened expression the Zong family will show when they find out that all the subfamily members are out of control. So for this task, he is naturally very active and very hardworking. Natsume also showed a satisfied smile and continued to do business. He also rushed into the orphanage in front of him. Soon, go in and take a look. As predicted. Although the entire orphanage is normal on the surface. But, secretly, it has already been transformed into a secret stronghold by root penetration. And under the orphanage, the ground was hollowed out and a huge bloody killing field was built. All orphans of the right age who are admitted to the orphanage and have a certain ninjutsu talent. They will be selected in advance and secretly sent to the underground base. Began to secretly train these orphans. Its method is extremely cruel and bloody. Looking around, there are no less than dozens of children's dead bones piled up in the corner of the base. What's more, this is just a stronghold. It is estimated that the number of people who really died in training will have to be multiplied several times. It is enough to see how many crimes of common anger between man and God have been committed by Genbu over the years. Therefore, when I saw the bloody killing field hidden underground in the orphanage, saw the bloodstains all over the ground, and saw the piles of dead bones. Even the strong-minded no Nayu almost collapsed directly. I couldn't help crying bitterly, holding several dead bones, weeping uncontrollably, blaming myself again and again. If it wasn't for her trusting the roots. If it weren't for her incompetent dean. With so many poor orphans, they will not fall into the clutches of Genbu and Danzo. She is guilty. For a long time, under the comfort of Natsume's avatar. Only then did Nonayo slowly calm down. And together with several clones, they brought out the 30 or so orphans left in the orphanage together. These orphans basically have no ninja talent. Among them, only a few people still recognize the former Dean no Nayu. The other 20 or so people are all newly adopted orphans in recent years. However, many of these children have obvious bruises from beatings. It is enough to see that they have also suffered inhuman treatment in this orphanage. I can even imagine how those gifted orphans will be treated cruelly. After saving all the children, Natsume didn't hesitate at all. Quickly threw the body of another dead root ninja on the ground into the orphanage. Then, 5 huge shots of holy fireball art spewed out. In an instant, the entire orphanage was enveloped in a sea of flames. Start burning the corpses. Dazzling flames, violent chakra fluctuations. It also quickly attracted many Konoha ninjas. But when they arrive, there was no one around. There is only one dilapidated orphanage still burning in raging fire. At the same time, hidden village, hundreds of miles away. Natsume was leading a group of children and Nanoyu, and they flashed here in an instant. Appeared in one place, on the mark of flying thunder god that he had set long ago. The distance of 100 miles is already considered a long way. Even if it is a ninja, it will take a lot of time to catch up. It was enough for Nanoya to take these children and leave Konoha's sphere of influence. Of course, Natsume can also bring everyone back to Yenin village, thousands of miles away in an instant. It's just that it takes dozens of people to transfer over a long distance at one time. Even Natsume will consume a lot of chakra. Next, I have to go back to Konoha to have a good time and give some souvenirs. It is best to save some chakra. Only then did Nonayu and others be sent here. Thank you. Thank you, Natsume-sama. Thanks to you. With red eyes, Nonayu said with gratitude from the bottom of his heart. Okay. If you want to thank me, you can repay me with your actions in the future. Now, you take these children to retreat first. I'll go back. Come back to join you guys later. Natsume waved his hand and quickly instructed. Then, an ordinary clone was left behind as a guard. Then he activated the Flying Thunder God art again, teleporting back to Konoha. Episode 63. Return to the vault, trap. With the Flying Thunder God technique, Natsume can indeed come and go freely, and no one can stop him. After sending off Nonayu and all the little kids, Natsume flashed back to Konoha in an instant. In fact, Konoha is coming again this time. Natsume has 3 main purposes. First, fulfill the promise to Nonayu and save all the orphans in the orphanage. Second, designed to kill a wave of roots, further weakening the leaves. Third, stop by and see if you can bring some souvenirs back with you. As for just subduing a white-eyed ninja from the Hyuga family and verifying the powerful effect of the recruitment card, it was purely a surprise. That Hyuga Fukagawa, who can really dig through the corners of the entire Hyuga clan for himself, is naturally the best. If you can't, it's not a pity. Left and right are just an idle move, so there is no need to pay too much attention to it. At this moment, Natsume cares most. It's still Konoha's fragrant and alluring vault. It's rare to come here to lie down. Why should I go to the vault again and take some souvenirs back? Not to mention, I now have more than 6,700 gold coins left, and I am only 3,300 gold coins away from raising 10,000 gold coins. Although, wait for the Marine Shipping Company to open. Within a month, he'd be peddling jewels again and raising a fortune for himself. But if I can go to Konoha's vault again, I'm afraid I can harvest tens of millions more tonight, and directly raise enough 10,000 gold coins. Isn't he fragrant? That's it. The first time is raw, the second time is cooked. Soon, after returning to Konoha again, Natsume said nothing. Hidden directly, rushed towards the vault again. Due to the sudden promotion of the orphanage, the fire that started once again attracted the attention of many ninjas. It also made Natsume's journey smooth. Soon came to the Konoha vault. After being stolen once, Konoha has also obviously learned how to behave, and replaced the 2 Chunin guarding the vault with 2 outstanding Hunin. Unfortunately, this defensive force. In Natsume's eyes, there is no difference between almost being naked. These 2 Jounin. After meeting each other, he fell into Natsume's Sharingan illusion and fell to the ground instantly. Soon, Natsume pushed open the door of the vault and stepped inside. But just after entering, the expected silver light did not appear. On the contrary, wherever the eyes looked, it was empty. Obviously, Konoha has already moved all the silver tails in this vault. Only one bare and empty vault was left. Good guy, you really learned how to be smart. The treasury has been emptied. Summer sighed. In this regard, he was not overly disappointed. In fact, Natsume had already guessed something. If a person's home is stolen, he will immediately change the door lock and transfer the property in the house. If you don't even know this, and you foolishly wait for the thief to come again, then, Konoha, is probably really hopeless. Forget it. It seems that I can't get this souvenir. Natsume sighed and prepared to leave. However, at this moment, outside the attic of the treasury, there were a few cracking sounds suddenly. Next moment, a chorus came from all around the outside. Ninja method? Barrier? Seeching is sealed. Natsume exited the gate and found out. Around the vault, 4 Umbu ninjas had already stood in the 4 corners, and they jointly performed an enchantment like ninjutsu. Enveloped the entire treasury. And this, for Green Ceiling Prison, enchantment is exactly a half defense, half restraining enchantment commonly used by Umbu. At least 4 jounin with high chakra reserves are required to join forces. It can form a circle of enchantment with extremely superior defense power, firmly trapping the target. This enchantment is very difficult to break from the inside, unless there is violence comparable to that of a tailed beast. On the contrary, it is extremely easy to break open from the outside. Therefore, it is often used by Umbu ninjas to trap powerful enemies and wait for support. Tap TTTDD. A series of dull footsteps sounded. An old man, accompanied by 2 Umbu ninjas, gradually emerged from the shadows in the distance. Konoha's senior advisor turned to Xiaochun. Uchiha Natsume. Sure enough, you are here again. You actually bypassed the barrier of the village without making a sound. It seems that you have obtained a new code for the barrier, right? Turning sleeping Xiaochun, who squinted his eyes, looked directly at Natsume and sneered coldly. You know I'm coming? Uncertain. Turning to bed, Xiaochun shook his head. To be honest, she wasn't sure if Natsume would come back again. However, since all the silver in the vault has been evacuated, she doesn't mind making it a trap either. Deliberately arranged 2 guards on duty to create an illusion, and let the rest of the Umbu ninjas lie in ambush around, waiting for the opportunity to move. Even if you can't catch Natsume, it can also be captured in one fell swoop, and all other lawless lunatics who dare to play the idea of the vault. Anyway, she has lived for so many years and has been a high-level consultant for so long. She still has this little trick, be careful. It's just that she didn't expect it. It was such a coincidence tonight that the super traitor Natsume Uchiha was captured in one fell swoop. How lucky. Pay attention to maintaining the enchantment, and never let him escape. Go and inform the others, and rush to help. Also, be careful not to meet his eyes. Watch out for his illusions. When he was proud, Xiaochun did not despise him too much. Hastily reminded the surrounding ninjas. How to say, she has also been a ninja for decades, and was once one of the personal guards of the second Hokage Tamona. In addition, even Danzo was defeated by this brat before. Of course she didn't dare to be careless. But, on the other hand, in her opinion, although this Uchiha Natsume is strong, however, it will not be too easy to break through this enchantment specially used for suppression. This guy is already the turtle in the urn. Even if he can break through this enchantment. Time spent. It is also enough to contact the village by yourself, call enough ninjas to help, and take down this big traitorous ninja in one fell swoop. After today, with this great achievement as a consultant, I will definitely become famous again. Put those old guys like Danzo and Sarutobi under your body. Turning to sleep, Xiaochun imagined happily. Unfortunately, the idea is beautiful. The reality is extremely cruel. It didn't take a few seconds for her to be proud. Inside the barrier, Natsume spoke again. Konoha's advisors don't seem to be all trash. Zanzi Xiaochun, you contributed a lot to promoting the extermination of our clan, right? It's just that, do you really think you're sure to eat me? Turning to sleep, Xiaochun frowned and cursed sharply. Damn Uchiha kid, you dare to speak hard when you are about to die. Sure enough, your family is a disaster, and you should all die. Natsume smiled, not annoyed. Instead, he sneered and continued to whisper. We are damned. However, it's hard to say who will die first. The voice just fell. The Natsume inside the barrier suddenly exploded into a cloud of white smoke and disappeared invisible. See here. Xiaochun and others outside the barrier are all big shock. It's a shadow clone. Damn it, that's not the real body. This is impossible. Where is his real body? Master Protection Advisor. Several Umbu ninjas suddenly became a mess. Even Xiaochun, who turned to sleep, felt a little bit in his heart, secretly saying that it was terrible. But, don't wait for her to react. That familiar cold voice sounded from behind her again. Farewell. Episode 64. Instant kill Xiaochun. Illusion. That icy sound of blessings, to Zhuanzhu Xiaochun's ears at this moment, was like the voice of the dead dying. It makes the scalp numb, and the liver and gallbladder are splitting. Subconsciously, she wanted to dodge and backhand the enemy. It's a pity, compared to Natsume's extreme speed. She's still too slow. Although, decades ago, when I was the second-generation Hokage Pro-Guard. But she has the strength of a proper elite Jnin. However, nowadays, old age fades away. The strength is long gone. Ninja's strength is largely related to taijutsu and ninjutsu. They are already getting old, and their bones are almost brittle to become one crushed ice. The cell viability has also dropped significantly, and the chakra can't be extracted much. How much strength can you still retain? The decline in strength is also one of the reasons why Zhuanzhu Xiaochun and Midaminian turned into consultants. In short, only relying on the strength of this old lady at the moment. There was no way to avoid Natsume's attack. As for Natsume, behind the scenes, I don't know how many bad things about the Uchiha clan have been said, and how many high-level disgusting old ladies have been encouraged to target the Uchiha clan. There is no half-mercy. In an instant, he drove the third order and eightfold speed, Setsuna, and came behind the opponent. A hand knife directly broke Zhuan's sleeping Xiaochun's lumbar spine, and crippled her hands. Deprived of all her ability to resist. Master Advisor. My lord, turn to sleep. The rest of the Umbu ninjas around were instantly horrified, and quickly exclaimed. And they are all ready to attack Natsume. And how could Natsume let these Umbu minions go? Next moment. The magic knife is out of its sheath. A fiery red light flashed. Swipe, swipe, D.D. Several sharp piercing sounds sounded. But for a moment, including the 4 ninjas who maintained the barrier. A total of 6 Umbu ninjas. All died on the spot. Everyone's throat was sealed with one blow, without exception. This time Natsume's attack can be described as vigorous and vigorous. Without sloppy. Cold, efficient to the point of chilling. Of course, the reason why Setsuna and Kuin Dao were used instead of ninjutsu. It is also to reduce the fluctuation of chakra usage as much as possible, so as not to arouse the vigilance of Konoha's other ninjas. Now. His spine was broken, his hands were crippled, and he was paralyzed on the ground in embarrassment. Xiaochun was also panicking like never before. As a ninja, she has also faced many fatal crises in her life. But it was the first time that he was so hopeless and powerless like this moment. Especially after she witnessed it. The little ghost in front of him was able to kill several Umbu ninja queens in an instant. Such a powerful and terrifying strength. It made her heart tremble even more, powerless. Tap TTTDD. After solving the surrounding Umbu ninja, Natsume came to the dying Zhuan Xiaochun again. You. The severe pain all over her body made the old lady unable to utter a complete sentence at all. He had no choice but to stare at Natsume with eyes full of resentment, a look that wanted to tear Natsume apart. Don't stare at me like that. Compared to hatred, I have too many clansmen here, I wish you could die. Bastard, you. Natsume kicked the opponent hard again, and continued. Still waiting for your support? Hee. Do you know why my main body appeared so late? Don't worry. The ninjas you sent out to inform have all been caught up by me and killed secretly. After you die. Tonight, no one will know, I will do all this. How to put it, Xiao's current life was also brought up by so many cultures of infernal affairs and thick black studies. So, from the beginning, Natsume didn't intend to use the main body to take risks. After all, a clone is such a useful thing, it would be too wasteful not to make good use of it. Therefore, after seeing the avatar fell into the trap, he immediately dealt with those little tails who conveyed information first. It was only a little delay. Of course, even if the main body is trapped in the barrier, he, who left many marks of the flying thunder god outside, is not afraid at all. Left and right are just a matter of flashing out in an instant. What's more, it's hard to say whether the barrier can block the sharp blade of Kuan Dao. Say it bluntly. If you ignore the third generation Naruto Sarutobi, Hashiman Meitike, and Konoha's possible hidden backhands. Based on the present Natsume alone, one person can basically chisel through more than half of Konoha. I don't know how confident Xiaochun, the old lady who turned to bed, came from. Do you really think you can capture yourself alive? You still want to, do. Summer laughed lightly. Don't worry. You have transferred all the silver in the vault to other places. And that place must be more secretive. It is estimated that only a few high-level officials in Konoha know about the new storage point. However, since you are setting up an ambush here, plus your status as a consultant, if you think about it, you should also know where is the new vault storage point. Obviously, trying to pry out the location of the new vault from the old woman was the reason why Natsume left her alive. Otherwise, this guy would have been killed with one blow just now. You, dreaming. I will never. Don't worry. I didn't think you would cooperate either. I heard that your illusion skills are not low. Do you want to try the power of my Kaleidoscopic Sharingan illusion? You. Just uttering a word, Natsume opened those scarlet, eternal Kaleidoscope Sharingan. Surging pupil power poured out. In an instant, Xiaochun's will was overwhelmed. Soon, Natsume got the information he wanted and knew the location of the new vault. You guys know how to pick a place. If I didn't know it by illusion, I might not be able to guess where it is. Okay, thank you for the information. I guess it's time for others to come. Finally, cover it up for me again, let's use the remaining heat. Natsume's eyes were fixed, and Eternal Kaleidoscope Sharingan, with surging pupil power once again injected a phantom into the brain of Wansan Xiaochun, forcibly modifying her memory. Then, with a wave of the knife, directly cut off half of the old woman's body. With such a serious injury, she will undoubtedly die. Then, he disappeared in the same place in an instant, and rushed towards the direction of the new vault. Natsume just left, for less than 10 seconds. Due to the conspicuousness of enchantment ninjutsu, many Konoha ninjas rushed over immediately. After seeing the tragic battlefield in this place, these ninjas were all terrified. At the same time, a group of ninjas quickly discovered the dying Zhuanxing Xiaochun, and hastily used chakra to hang the consultant with his last breath. Not for a while. Sarutobi, who is the third Hokage, was also present. And after seeing such a miserable old friend Xiaochun, he was even more furious and furious. Xiaochun. Who did it? Turning to sleep, Xiaochun held his last breath, recalling the phantom memory in his mind, and told him. 2 people, Hongyun Pao, yes, it's them. Rinnegan, village. Before the words were finished, Xiaochun took his last breath when he turned to bed, and he really died suddenly. Episode 65. 40 million souvenirs. The Administration Department is an organization that assists Hokage in managing Konoha's government affairs. Its highest officials are Midaman Yen and Zhuanju Xiaochun, who are equivalent to the elders of the village. Responsibilities of consultants, firstly, to assist Naruto to give some correct opinions. The second is to serve as a bridge between Nation of Fire and Konoha, to convey the country's information, and to receive the financial budget allocated by the country to the village. And at the same time to reflect some conditions and situations of the village to the daimyo, etc. Say it bluntly. Except that the real power in his hands is slightly inferior. The status of Midaman Yen and Zhuanju Koharu in Konoha is almost no less than that of Danzo. It is Konoha's well-deserved high level. At this moment, the sudden death of such a high-level consultant. It really had a great impact on Konoha. After all, even if it is the Second or Third Ninja World War. In the entire Konoha, no high-level consultant has been killed violently. What's more, Zhuangju Xiaochun is still Sarutobi's old comrade-in-arms, with a deep friendship. At this moment, witnessing Zayaharu's death with his own eyes is undoubtedly a big shock to Sarutobi Hiruzen. It shocked him and made him angry. A high-level consultant of Tangtang actually died in front of his own treasury. If this gets out, it will undoubtedly be another big blow to the entire Konoha. Suppressing his anger, Yuan Fei murmured. Two-person action, Hongyun Ro. Is it the Zhishao organization? How dare they attack Konoha? How did they pass through the barrier of the village quietly? And the battle broke out here? Countless questions emerged from the bottom of his heart. However, no one answered it. Although Xiaochun left some clues before his death. But out of caution, Sarutobi couldn't be convinced instantly. After all, it is not ruled out that someone is deliberately pretending to be Shao in an attempt to cause trouble. Even experienced him. I have doubted whether Xiaochun might be controlled by illusion. Just a little pause. Sarutobi quickly denied this guess. He is clear about Xiaochun's illusion skills. Although he was not as good as a young illusion rookie like Karina Yuhi, he was still quite outstanding. Think about controlling it silently and modifying her memory. Almost impossible to do. Even for the Kaleidoscopic Sharingan, known as the pinnacle of illusion, it is not easy to achieve this. Proficient skills and massive pupil power are indispensable. It's not that Sarutobi didn't suspect that this was all done by the evil Uchiha Natsume who had already betrayed the village. But, although that kid opened the Kaleidoscopic Sharingan. But it is too young, and the upper limit of chakra and pupil power is not high. Therefore, it is unlikely. Of course, if he knew. In just over 10 days, the chakra and pupil power of that kid Natsume had increased dozens of times. I'm afraid, I won't think so. Darkness is very efficient. After surveying the scene and collecting information, they began to collect the corpses. Yuan Fei personally closed Xiaochun's eyes and covered him with a white cloth. There was anger in his heart. But after being a Hokage for decades, he was used to seeing him parted in life and death, so he didn't lose his mind because of it. Instead, suppressing the fire in his heart, he said coldly asked. Has the site survey been completed? Back to the third generation, I have checked the surrounding corpses. Except for Mr. Zhuangju, everyone was killed by one blow. The attacker is very powerful. Is there a way to track the other party? No. The opponent is experienced, not only quickly left the battlefield, but also concealed all traces and smells. Even Ninja Dog is hard to track. We still need more time before we can find the trace of the other party. The Umbu squad leader lowered his head and responded in shame. Colleagues were killed, advisors died suddenly. But they can only stay here helplessly, without clues, helpless. For Umbu, it is undoubtedly a huge blow. Of course, don't blame him. After all, who would have thought that the perpetrator would be so powerful? So wanton and arrogant. This almost treats the entire Konoha as a back garden. And the sensing troops were also silent, without warning. What a fucking piece of trash. Sarutobi didn't scold angrily. Although he also wanted to curse a few words to vent. But in the end he held back. It's not that these Umbu ninjas are too weak, it can only be said that the enemy is too strong. 6 top ninjas. If they act together, it is enough to directly level some small hidden villages. However, in front of the enemy this time, he was easily killed like a chicken. Speaking of which, such a vicious enemy. Why didn't he kill Zhuangju Xiaochun directly? Come to think of it, it wouldn't be because of her status as a consultant, right? That must be something else. Think about it. Sarutobi also suddenly realized. Oops. The target of the other party is still those silver tails transferred out of the vault. They tortured Xiaochun just to ask about the location of the backup vault. Sarutobi's complexion changed drastically, without hesitation. He quickly spread his legs and ran towards the backup vault. There is no more demeanor and temperament of Hokage. After all, the silver in the treasury is the lifeblood of my village. Half of it was stolen last time. This time, if it is evacuated again, I'm afraid they can't even pay the salaries of those ninjas who are civil servants in the Umbu. How could Sarutobi not be excited? After a few minutes, outside Konoha village, a figure suddenly appeared. At this moment, looking at the 8 space scrolls in her arms, Natsume also showed a bright smile. Yes, that very simple smile. A total of 40 million taels of souvenirs, Konoha is indeed very generous. Natsume was so generous that he didn't want to leave. On the other hand, let's be honest. After suffering a loss, Konoha has indeed learned to behave. Not only the money in the original treasury was moved out. They were even stored in 3 temporary secret spare vaults to prevent accidents. However, Konoha has 1,000 calculations, and she never counts. The high-level consultant who knew the address of the secret backup vault turned to Xiaochun. It will be directly served by Natsume. Even the address of the backup vault was fully explained under the control of Natsume's illusion. How can Natsume waste such enthusiasm? Immediately shot, directly broke into one of the spare vaults in the natural cave under the Hokage rock statues of the past dynasties. Evacuate all the 40 million taels stored in this spare treasury. Not a drop left. Think about it, at this moment. The 3rd generation of Sarutobi who knew it later. Looking at one of the empty spare vaults, maybe you will faint from anger? Besides, 2 other backup vaults, one located just below the original vault's loft. The other is located right next to Hokage's office. Konoha has also practiced the truths such as darkness under the lamp and the most dangerous place is the safest place. You can see Konoha's boldness and carefulness even more. If not, the information was obtained by illusion. Natsume really might not be able to quickly find these spare vaults. Of course, due to time constraints. And higher risk. Natsume did not do anything to the other 2 backup vaults. I took another 40 million taels of souvenir tonight, which is already very interesting. There is no need to hollow out Konoha's family fortune and force others to die. Moreover, compared to the instant destruction of Konoha, Natsume would rather see Konoha crumbling little by little, falling into the abyss step by step, struggling hoarsely. In desperation, grasp the sliver of false hope until death. Is this more uncomfortable? Orgasms are often just a shiver. When it is over, it is empty. Only the delicate foreplay and main play can make people never get tired of it and have endless aftertaste. Episode 66. There is the real home of our family. Ding, congratulations, you have won. Point value point. Excuse me, do you want to recharge? Value points, converted to 4,140 gold coins. Recharge successful. Congratulations, you have obtained 4,140 gold coins. Current balance. Gold. Watching his balance break through the 10,000 gold coin mark again. Natsume was even more happy, really happy. Even, there were 892 gold coins more than 10,000 gold coins. It's enough for me to have extravagant 10 consecutive draws. Of course, although the heart is quite happy. But Natsume did not enter the system in a hurry, and began to exchange and draw prizes. After all, there is still a big thing waiting for me to do at this moment. Of the 3 goals tonight, Natsume has achieved 2. It even exceeded the standard. Not only did he harvest a white-eyed ninja, but he also killed that annoying old woman who turned to sleep, Xiaochun. Now, only the last item remains. That is, designed to kill a wave of roots, further weakening the leaves. And now, I guess, the time is ripe. It's time to take a look. At the same time, outside Konoha village, a large group of Anbi and Genbu ninjas are quietly following several Uchiha clan ninjas, continuing to walk around. Gradually, a small number of Anbi ninjas became slightly impatient. Captain, I feel something is wrong. Are those guys really planning to defect? They seem to have made 2 big circles around the village. If you're going to defect, shouldn't you delay so slowly? Shut up. Just obey orders. No matter what they want to do, we only need to complete the established tasks, follow them, and surround them at the meeting point. The squad leader warned in a low voice. Whether it is the root or the dark part, all take the execution of orders as the first element. As the sharp blades hidden in the darkness of the village, they only need to aim at the target and strike hard. As for right? Will it go wrong? Those are all sword-wielding people, which is what Konoha's senior management should consider. What's more, for the sake of shame, Danzo paid a lot of money this time. Except for those who are performing tasks, and the seedlings that are not yet mature. Now, he has sent out all the Umbu and Root ninjas he can mobilize. There are hundreds of people. And divided into 2 batches. As a vanguard, a group secretly tracked those Uchiha people and found them and the meeting point. The other group is lurking outside the village, on standby at any time. As soon as the signal comes out, it will quickly kill. In a situation of encirclement, come and catch the turtle in the urn, and eat those Uchiha traitors in one fell swoop. Because he has been acting outside the village. So that this army has no idea what happened in the village at this moment. I don't know, an orphanage, stronghold in the root has been destroyed. What's more, a senior consultant has also died suddenly. Otherwise, they wouldn't have followed those Uchiha ninjas so unhurriedly. The house was stolen. Still in the mood to hunt down traitors. Although a few Konoha ninjas were a little restless, most of the professionally trained root ninjas were very calm. In other words, cold-blooded enough to have enough hunting patience for prey. In this way, time passed by every minute and every second. The few Uchiha ninjas who seemed to be defecting made 3 full circles outside Konoha. Only then did he break away from the track and head towards the north. Seeing this, all the root ninjas were shocked and quickly followed. Just a few minutes. The 5 Uchiha ninjas stopped and came to a slightly empty sparse woods, and waited silently. Very good. This is probably where they and Yenin village rebelled against each other. Quick, inform the others. Assemble here. Be careful, don't expose it. If this operation fails, Danzo-sama will definitely make you and me look good. The head of the root troop, who was in charge of leading the 50 or so people, ordered sharply. Root style is well known to everyone. Once the mission fails, even if you are lucky enough to survive, you will at least have to shed your skin. In addition, Danzo-sama, whose legs have been crippled recently, is already in a bad mood. No one dared to touch this mold. They all agreed quickly and cautiously. At the same time, the Uchiha ninjas who were waiting in the woods were also a little puzzled. What time is it now? 9 o'clock sharp. The timing is just right. This is where the patriarch asked us to come? There doesn't seem to be anything special? Who did the patriarch tell us to wait here? It's so mysterious. I do not know either. However, we all came out quietly. If we don't go back for too long, we will be discovered by the police posts outside the village, and we will be in trouble. Bah. Don't say a few words about Crow's mouth. Hey. If I knew it earlier, I should have defected with those clansmen. No matter how hard it is and how dangerous it is, it's better than staying in the village and suffering from such birdishness. Why, you think so too? Who isn't? I heard that Natsume-kun led those clansmen to establish a new village, and even formed an alliance with Mist Hidden Village. I really want to go and see what a village belonging to our family would look like. In short, it must be better than Konoha. Ha ha ha. Of course. If you want me to tell you, the patriarch should have defected together long ago. I really don't know why he still stays in Konoha. Shoo. You can't speak ill of the patriarch, he should have his own considerations. That's all, that's all. Wait till I can't go on anymore. Big deal, I'm going to defect and go to Yenin village to have a look. Okay, count me in too. Count me in. That's right, I don't know, will they take us in? After all, we refused to defect once. These Uchiha ninjas laughed heartily while chatting. Compared to Konoha. Outside, it really made them let go of their restraints and speak freely. But, talk to the end. Several people can't help but feel slightly worried. I was worried that even if I and others defected, they would be turned away by Yenin village. And at this moment, the voices of several people did not fall. In the shadow of the jungle not far away, there was a sudden laughter. Ha ha ha. Don't worry, Yenin village will never reject you. There is the real home of our family. Several people were surprised. Hastily followed the sound to look. Only then did I see a young boy hugging a little turtle. Step out slowly from the shadow of the forest. Episode 67. Eat my hair-tailed beast Jade. Natsume. It's Natsume-kun. The person the patriarch asked us to meet is actually Natsume-kun. Is this for us to connect with, Yenin village? At this moment, the 5 Uchiha ninjas saw Natsume. They were surprised, and then overjoyed. After all, within a few days, the good news about the alliance between Rinnegan village and Wuin village spread almost all over Konoha. As a member of the Uchiha clan, just as they expected in their hearts, who wouldn't want to go to the Rinnegan village built by their own family? Therefore, after being personally acknowledged by the famous Natsume-kun, several people were even more pleasantly surprised and couldn't wait to go and have a look. Only, not waiting for a few people to greet them happily. Startled suddenly, I saw Natsume holding the little turtle in one hand. The other hand actually formed a mudra with one hand and performed ninjutsu. Shadow clone technique. The art of water body. Transfiguration. Word binding technique? Fuck. Next moment, dozens of figures of different appearances and heights emerged one after another from the shadow of the forest behind Natsume. Same time, 5 sharp kunai also shot out from the woods, pointing at them. The 5 Uchiha ninjas were shocked. I can't understand why Natsume-kun suddenly attacked them. However, at this moment, they were all instantly frozen by Natsume's word-binding technique, making it difficult to move. He could only watch helplessly as the 5 Kanwupo attacks came from the air. Whoa, whoa, d. Puff, 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 d. 5 muffled voices sounded. The 5 daggers pierced the chests of the 5 people precisely. Immediately, 5 people fell to the ground in response. At the same time, a group of Konoha root ninjas lurking in the distance were also stunned by this sudden change. Report, the target has appeared. The other party is in contact with the Uchiha ninja. There is only one person, and the appearance of the other party cannot be clearly seen. But it should be a traitor sent by Rinnegan village. Very good. The fish is hooked. Attention all teams, speed up the encirclement, and we must not let them run away. And many more. The target is more than one person. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fuck. There are a lot of unknown ninjas behind the target. There are a lot of people. Something's wrong. Rinnegan village, where are there so many ninjas? Is this going to counterattack Konoha? Looking at the dozens of figures that suddenly appeared in the distance, the commander of the root troop also changed his face drastically. Obviously, the sudden change has far exceeded his expectation and control. But, don't wait for him to react. Then suddenly saw again the scene where the 5 Uchiha ninjas were hit by kunai and fell to the ground instantly. They killed those 5 Uchiha ninjas. Damn, are they crazy? Aren't they the Uchiha rebels from Rinnegan village? How could they be killing each other? No, the information is wrong. They may not be ninjas from Rinnegan village. They may be ninjas from other hidden villages. They are enemy attacks. Go and inform Danzo-sama. The root troop leader roared. At this moment, I don't care about what is exposed or not. If those dozens of ninjas were really enemies from other ninja villages, Konoha would be in danger today. At this time, who cares about those little Uchiha traitors? White eyes. Who has white eyes? Show me over there, which ninja is it? Listen to this. Among these root ninjas, the only 2 white-eyed ninjas quickly opened their eyes and looked into the distance. Get a panoramic view of the scene more than 1 kilometer away. At the same time, relying on by Yan's special chakra insight ability, the 2 root ninjas quickly discovered the truth. It was discovered that dozens of figures were not entities. It seems that a large part of them are avatars created by the avatar technique. Note, normal white eyes cannot see through shadow clones. It's a trap. They are bluffing. It's all an illusion. Those are not real people. One of the white-eyed ninjas yelled. But before he finished speaking, he suddenly saw something extremely terrifying. It made him stuck in an instant, and his face changed drastically. And screamed in horror. Not good. It's a tailed beast. Run away. Seconds ago, seeing the 5 people in front of him fall to the ground, Natsume also slightly raised the corners of his mouth, seeming very satisfied. Then, he raised Mio Iso in his arms with one hand and stroked it. And patted its little head, ordered. Hey! Can you understand me? Quick, face over there, spit out the tailed beast jade for me. Hurry up. Speak slowly, I'll use you to make soup tonight. Mio Isafu. Obviously, Jifu had no right to refuse at all. Immediately, he opened his small mouth aggrieved, and began to condense tail beast jade. Soon, under the threat of soup. In just 3 or 4 seconds, Jifu condensed a thick and huge, tail beast jade. Next moment. Natsume held the Isafu and aimed in the direction. Directly spray this, tail beast jade, out. Too fast. What a surprise! The root ninjas in the distance never expected that there was a tailed beast on the opposite side. And without further ado, he shot a tail beast jade at them. That is the greatest mystery of the tailed beast. With just one shot, one or several mountains can be destroyed. In the early stage of Hokage, this was a lore move that even Hokage couldn't stop. So that. This horde of root ninjas. There was no time to react. There is no time to escape. The huge purple-black, tail beast jade, quickly leaped over 1,000 meters away and arrived in an instant. Directly above a group of root ninjas, it exploded suddenly. Next moment. The orange-red light suddenly rose, just like the sun falling into the world, instantly devouring everything around. The strong light dazzled people's eyes. The violent shock wave spread in all directions, uprooting countless big trees and blowing a boundless hurricane. The huge roar and vibration can be clearly felt even more than 10 kilometers away. The prestige of tail beast jade is indeed not blown out. What's more, this is a little turtle that exploded with all its strength under the threat of life. The natural momentum is huge and the power is terrifying. Episode 68. Crazy Planting. At this moment, I looked at the big orange-red light ball rising in the distance, and the huge mushroom cloud that exploded thereafter. Natsume was also quite satisfied, and reached out to touch the glands of Mio Isafu, approving. TSK, good job. You still have some use. Sanwei also quickly took the initiative to rub her glands, very obedient. After all, it's clear. Disobedience will inevitably end badly. What's more, this human kid has Kaleidoscope Sharingan. Even if you are disobedient, you don't have to be controlled by the illusion, so continue to do so. There is no right to resist at all. That saying goes well. Since you can't resist, just enjoy it. Maybe it will be more comfortable if you cooperate with it and change your posture? The aftermath of the tail beast jade explosion in the distance is still spreading. In that group of more than 50 root ninjas, except for a few lucky ones who dispersed their guard in advance. The rest were all shrouded into the center of the explosion. Not to mention 10 deaths and no life. Absolutely not even the bone dregs will be left. You know, this is all the elite backbone of the root. After this wave is wiped out, it will be several years in the future. The roots will definitely be seriously injured, and they will no longer be able to make waves. And this is the effect Natsume needs. It's not in vain that I specially designed to use these 5 Uchiha ninjas as bait to trick the old thief Danzo into the fishhook. Otherwise, I want to gather more than 50 root elites together. It's not easy to just throw it away in one pot. In short, I still have to thank that Master Guiying for her support. Unfortunately, the old thief in Danzang has learned his lesson, and he didn't show up in person this time. Otherwise, the detailed beast jade that was issued just now might be able to take him away in a wave. That would be even better. Of course, in fact. With Natsume's current strength. Even if you don't rely on the 3 tails and tail beast jade, you can quickly kill those root ninjas in seconds. And the reason why he deliberately used tail beast jade to attack. It's just to hide his identity and continue to plant and frame her. After all, Natsume is also very clear. Although his actions in Konoha village just now were successful. But it's not watertight either. Whether it was a fire in the orphanage or a theft of the backup vault. As long as Konoha gets to the bottom of it, I and Yenin village will still be the first suspects. If you are still outside the village at this moment, revealing your true body, turning on Susan, and instantly killing a group of ninjas with roots. That's even more self-defeating. Yes, if you use tailed beasts and tailed beast jade to attack. The situation changed in an instant. After all, everyone knows it. Only Woodaean village and Longin village have tailed beast and Renzali. Where did my Yenin village get the tailed beast? Therefore, once Konoha was attacked by a tailed beast, it would be reasonable to transfer the object of suspicion to the other hidden villages. Greatly reduce their own suspicion. After that, challenge it a little bit. Maybe a new round of hidden village war will start soon. So that I can watch the fire from the other side and reap the power of a fisherman. Isn't it wonderful? And this is the fundamental reason why Natsume used the 3 tails to release the Tail Beast Jade attack. Anyway, in Konoha village, no one knew that Sangwei was in his hands. As for the large number of avatars that have just been conjured up, they are also to deceive Konoha ninja, and they are just misfortune. So far, it seems that the whole plan is going very smoothly. Seeing the success of the plan, Natsume did not hesitate. Immediately let the avatar help the 5 Uchiha ninjas in front of him, and released the control on them. Next moment, the 5 of them took a deep breath and quickly got up. And looked at Natsume in a daze, and then at the huge explosion behind him. My heart is full of doubts. Obviously, the scene where the 5 Uchiha ninjas fell to the ground violently just now was nothing more than Natsume's acting. Those handfuls of kunai didn't have the point of stabbing a few people at all. Theirs came crashing down. It's all just an illusion created by Natsume's word-binding technique. Time was running out, and Natsume didn't bother to explain anything to the 5 of them. Directly from the space scroll, 5 replacement corpses that had been prepared earlier were taken out and thrown on the ground. The eyes of these corpses it has already been deducted, and the whole body is burnt, and the face cannot be distinguished. It's just perfect for disguising as these 5 Uchiha tribesmen. Then, without hesitation, Natsume immediately took the 5 still bewildered clansmen to perform the Flying Thunder God technique. Teleport disappeared again and left this place. The explosion of the tailed beast Jade was truly massive. So much so that in my village, the ground shook violently, waking up countless sleeping villagers. The dazzling explosion light reflected the sky of most of the village in orange-red. Such a shocking change made many people recall it instantly. On that terrifying night 7 years ago, I recalled the terrifying 9 tails that raged wildly and dealt a heavy blow to Konoha. Same time. On the watchtower outside the village. Watching the shocking explosion rising suddenly in the distance, feeling the majestic and terrifying tail beast chakra breath. Danzo in a wheelchair. The corner of his mouth twitched suddenly, and his expression changed drastically. That's it? The tailed beast's attack? How could there be a tailed beast? Itachi boy, is the information provided false? Impossible, absolutely impossible. Those Uchiha rebels can't have tailed beasts. Could it be that another hidden village has raided? And many more. Damn it. Then my people are all gone? Danzo was terrified, his teeth were about to crack, and he guessed in horror. For this action, he put all the blood in his hand into it. There are more than 50 people in the first echelon, and nearly half of them are Hunin. If he was really wiped out by the tailed beast group for no reason, he would probably vomit blood at a loss. Of course, beyond horror, Danzo also secretly rejoiced in his heart. Fortunately, I didn't attack rashly. Otherwise, maybe he would also be buried in the explosion of the tail beast Jade, now. DD. Soon, 2 figures quickly landed in front of Tuanzang, and they were extremely nervous and guarded. Master Danzo, us? Quick, take me back to the village. Also, tell the people in the second echelon to retreat. It seems that there is an attack from another village. Back to the village first, and then make plans. Danzo breathed a sigh of relief, pretending to command calmly. Regardless of the situation in the first echelon? Was it wiped out? Since there was a tailed beast attacking, he couldn't let the rest of his staff take risks anymore. If he really loses all his manpower, how can he compete for the position of Hokage in the future? I have been fighting for so many years. He is still very experienced in the counseling way. Let Yuan Fei handle such a big event as the tailed beast invasion. Obey. These 2 loyal root ninjas did not hesitate at all. Immediately carried the wheelchair and Danzo, and retreated towards the village. Similarly, a corner of Konoha. In the ruins of the Uchiha clan. Fuyu was also awakened by the shock, and quickly jumped onto the roof. From a distance, he watched the big circle of bright orange light explode outside the village. The Fuyue patriarch was also slightly taken aback, startled. I also thought it was an enemy village attack. Then, after thinking about it, it suddenly dawned on me. And couldn't help but smiled faintly, sighing secretly. That kid, he's too crazy. This can be regarded as a big mess. But it's good. Maybe once the war comes, the village won't have time to target our clan. Even, you have to rely on us. At the same time. In a temporary wooden house. The heirjuzi who had just fallen asleep and was woken up also ran out in a daze. And looked up at Fuyu curiously and asked. Dad, why are you standing on the roof? What are you looking at? Fuyu looked down at the young Sasuke. He was in a good mood and rarely made a joke. Watching the fireworks. Outside the village, someone is setting off fireworks. Sasuke also shouted excitedly. I want to watch it too. I want to watch it too. Episode 69. Crazy Brain Supplement. Konoha's commotion lasted the whole night. Whether it was a fire in the village or an explosion outside the village, countless villagers were anxious and trembling all night. Wildly guessing, is there going to be a war again? Fortunately, the stormy night passed. The village was not attacked again. It made countless people feel a little relieved. However, as the fire at the orphanage stopped, its hidden gloom was revealed, causing a commotion again. After all, no matter which hidden village it is in, the death rate of ninjas is very high. If it was during the war, the death rate would have to be doubled several times. As a result, a large number of orphans were created. Originally, these orphans would be adopted by the village or orphanage. It can also be regarded as a guarantee and explanation for those heroic ninjas who died. But now? The orphanage was burned and the bloody laboratory below was fully exposed. Only then did the villagers find out. What is this orphanage? It is simply a devil's lair that cannibalizes people without seeing their bones. Seeing the children's bones being dug out, all the surrounding villagers were jealous. All angry. After all, no ninja wants to see it. I was working hard for the village outside. On the contrary, when he was killed and the child was sent to the orphanage, he became a victim of the rude experiment. They were repeatedly tortured and trained to death. Previous. Or, be trained by them to be a dead man without emotion. Who can bear this? As a result, many ninjas soon set off a vigorous protest for this. Request a strict investigation of the orphanage. Severely punish the black hands behind the scenes. After all, the battle outside the village is too far away. Anyway, there were not many casualties in the village, so it didn't mean much to most villagers. On the contrary, it is the issue of the orphanage that is close at hand, which concerns the safety of every ninja's offspring. Compared with the two, everyone naturally pays more attention to the latter. At the same time, compared with the righteous indignation of the lower-class villagers. At this moment, Konoha's high-level executives are also anxious. There are too many big facts that happened last night. The orphanage was destroyed, the V backup vault was stolen, a high-level consultant died suddenly, and it was suspected of being attacked by a tailed beast from outside the village. Any one of them is enough to give Konoha's administrative department a headache. But now, it's all added together. This is simply killing people. At this moment, the third Hokage Sarutobi, who is full of white hair, looks sad, and is listless, is also sitting alone in Hokage's office, sighing secretly. He didn't understand why so many bad things always happened during his tenure. I only blame myself for being old. And it doesn't have the prestige and strength of the first-generation adults. Otherwise, who would dare to miss their own Konoha? Hey! DD knocked on the door. Come in. An Umbu ninja entered, got down on one knee, and removed his mask. Oh, it's Kakashi. Is it all counted? How about the casualties of Anbi and Na? Sarutobi restrained his expression, pretending to be calm and asked. Kakashi lowered his head and quickly reported. In the village, 11 Umbu ninjas were killed. Outside the village, 8 Umbu ninjas were killed, and 46 root ninjas were killed. Fizz D.D. Sarutobi took a deep breath, his complexion darkened by a third. Such a loss is the most painful one since World War III. Umbu aside. This time, I'm afraid it will definitely break Gen's spine. Danzo's men, I'm afraid that even half of the available manpower is gone now. Where the backup vault was stolen, do you have any clues about the thief? No. Kakashi shook his head. Umbu has searched the vault and the spare vault from the inside to the outside. And all kinds of ninja dogs and ninja beasts were dispatched to assist in the search. He still has no clue. It's as if those thieves can disappear completely out of thin air. Hearing this, Sarutobi frowned. This is already the second time the vault has been stolen. However, this time even the thief is unknown. It can only be inferred vaguely that there may be a figure of the Xiao organization. In addition, my family also killed a big consultant for this. Being so useless, Konoha's face is about to be lost. How is he not angry? Hey D.D. What about the attack outside the village last night? Kakashi hastily handed over a stack of reports. Inside is Umbu and Genbu, together with the surviving ninjas from last night, a detailed restoration report on the entire incident. Sarutobi took the report and read it carefully. After a while, only then spit out a mouthful of turbid air, with a complicated look on his face. After all, judging from this report alone, the attack that happened last night was too outrageous. Itachi's active informant, Uchiha Ninja's secret defection, Danzo and Gen's design ambush, the sudden attack of the tailed beast. These incidents are strung together, which is even more outrageous than the ninja war. There are too many coincidences here. Originally, Sarutobi was still skeptical. There is a strong connection between the group who attacked outside the village and the person who stole the spare cash. But now it seems that the connection behind this is getting more and more confusing. The most important thing is, after working all night, on my own side, I couldn't even find out the identity of any enemy. It's too passive. Kakashi, what do you think? Do you think these attacks are related? Sarutobi took the initiative to ask Kakashi. I hope to catch his shrewd mind and sort out the relationship. Orphanage, I can't analyze it. But the theft of the backup vault and the attack outside the village should not be the same group. If the two are the same group of people, then since they can sneak into the village quietly, there is no need to attack outside the village at all. Directly bring Renzali or Tailed Beast to launch a surprise attack in the village, which will definitely cause more casualties. Therefore, I guess the group of people outside the village should be the attacking troops sent by other hidden villages. It's just that I happened to bump into a few people from the Uchiha clan who were about to defect. That's why the 5 people were quickly silenced. Then they suddenly discovered that there were actually a large number of root ninjas behind the 5 of them. So, I thought the surprise attack was exposed. I had to use Tail Beast Jade to launch an attack in a hurry, and then quickly evacuated. Kakashi spoke his inference. This is also the most reasonable explanation in his opinion. After all, they didn't even know that someone had already learned the Flying Thunder God technique. Can easily jump around in and out of the village. Hearing this, Sarutobi nodded slightly. In his opinion, this is indeed a very reasonable guess. Clearly explained the doubts in this anticlimactic attack. Sarutobi, are those 5 people sure they are Uchiha's ninjas? Kakashi, not sure. Their bodies were all burnt extensively, and their faces could not be recognized. But the eyes of the 5 people were all poached, if it wasn't for collecting Sharingan. Generally, they will not deliberately poach the eyes of the corpse. Okay, I see. Sarutobi nodded and fell silent. While knocking on the wooden table, he racked his brains thinking. At the beginning, in my mind, I faced the suspicions of the 5 hidden villages one by one. Since there are tailed beasts participating in the battle, there is no doubt that the scope of suspicion has been locked between the other 4 hidden villages and Longin village. Uchiha Yenin village, who should have been the most suspected, was directly excluded. Secondly, although Longin village has tailed beasts, it is only a small hidden village. Only after eating the bear's heart and leopard's guts would he dare to offend Konoha. Therefore, its suspicion is not great. Then, Sarutobi was not unsuspecting of Mist Hidden Village, which was allied with Yenin Village. However, the great change in Mist Hidden Village happened 3 days ago. The news over there was only passed back to the village yesterday. In a hidden village in Nuada, a coup took place, Mizukage's sudden death, power change, and other major events. There must be a lot of government affairs waiting to be dealt with. How could it be possible to organize manpower nonstop and send out Jinchuriki to attack Konoha? For 2 days, there was an ocean in between. The ninjas of Wuin village didn't even have time to reach Konoha. Therefore, Sarutobi ruled out Mist Hidden Village from suspicion. The rest, the most suspicious ones are Yenin Village, Yunin Village, and Cheyenne Village. Damn it, which one is it? Yuan Fei frowned and muttered, guessing to himself. Episode 70. 10,000 gold coins, the body of a fairy. With 5 newly joined clansmen, as well as Nonayu and others. Natsume teleported back to Yenin Village, thousands of miles away. Anyway, the battle is over, so there is no need to worry too much about chakra consumption. After returning to their own village. Naturally, Nonayu sent the rescued orphans to the newly built orphanage with great joy. And these 5 newcomers were also ordered by Natsume to stay and settle down. However, come to think of it, the shock that tonight brought to them. It will probably take a while to slow down. After sending away these people, Natsume also put down her burden and came to the hot spring pool in the backyard. The 2 fires escaped. A pot of spring water warmed up, and puffs of white smoke came out. Natsume jumped in and lay down in the pool. At the same time, a certain little turtle also quietly escaped from Natsume's clutches. Swim to the edge of the pool alone, ready to hide away. After all, let Natsume rub it any further, its gland skin will be scratched. Calling D.D. Comfortable. How comfortable are you? Natsume was soaking in hot water, and let out a hearty cry, which was really pleasant. I don't know if it's because of the comfort of the hot spring, or because of the smooth operation tonight. Tut tut. This time, Konoha must have been frightened. The tailed beast sticks to the face. It's time to make them panic. Natsume sighed happily. Regardless of the later period. Anyway, in this period, the deterrent effect of tailed beasts is still great. Then, I recalled the whole process in detail. After making sure there are no mistakes. Only then did Natsume close her eyes excitedly, submerge her consciousness into the system, and prepare for a new splurge. Host, Natsume. Attributes, fire, water, wind, thunder, earth, een. Chakra, 72 calories. Ninjutsu, flying thunder god jutsu, S level. Time-space ninjutsu, 8 gates Doinja formation, S level. Physical jutsu, spiritualization jutsu, S level. Soul ninjutsu. Blood succession boundary, Sharingan, eternal kaleidoscope. Physical skills, millennium killing, 1000 flame knife. Special skill, the method of chakra extraction. Special weapon, knife. Current balance. Gold. Looking at the 10,000 gold coins, Natsume also showed a bright smile again. Sure enough, Konoha is better. The head of the 5 hidden villages is utterly rich. Of the 3 spare vaults, only one of them has a total of 40 million taels. This is not counting the 70 million taels that I passed along for the first time, which is indeed much richer than Yenin village. Such a vibrant leak is really rare. In the future, wait until the leaves are fattened up, and then continue to slaughter. After a little emotion, Natsume did not hesitate. Directly entered the system mall, and exchanged another long-awaited powerful ability on the spot. Excuse me, do you want to pay? Exchange gold coins for immortal body? Confirm. Originally, Natsume also hesitated whether to exchange for evil god body, tailed beast body, with the power of immortality, etc. However, considering the prevalence of sealing techniques in the ninja world, in the end, I chose the immortal body, which has a more obvious improvement in overall strength. Next moment. 10,000 gold coins scattered like snowflakes again. At the same time, the system's transformation of Natsume's body also began instantly. Under the indescribable power, Natsume's whole body cells are rapidly transforming, evolving, and sublimating. Cell vitality, bone hardness, muscle toughness, etc. have all grown explosively. Far surpassed the time when Orochimaru transplanted intercolumnar cells for himself. Even the few incomplete intercolumnar cells in the body were all assimilated and swallowed, and turned into pure immortal human cells that belonged exclusively to Natsume. In fact, the ability of immortal body is very simple, only 3 points. 1. Massive chakra comparable to tail beast level. 2. Strong vitality and resilience. 3. Extraordinary physical strength. Moreover, with the blessing of these 3 points, any ordinary ninjutsu can turn decay into magic in the hands of Immortal Body. The power of ninjutsu can indeed be chakra. How much is linked? But it is absolutely absurd to measure combat power only by the amount of chakra. It's like the early stage of Naruto, Naruto 10, 3 generations of Naruto 5. Can Naruto win the 3rd generation? The 4th generation of Hokage also has a tailed beast level chakra, and has a speed beyond Hashirama, but can he beat Hashirama? For another example, the move done in the 1st generation of Hokage pillars, apart from being able to suppress the tailed beast, is very perverted. Regardless of attack or defense, it is actually not the ultimate. It is mainly powerful in its rich functions, strong control, and comprehensive capabilities. In the later period, Master Madara also possessed the ability of wood escape. But after the 2 sides fought seriously, the 1st generation used Muduin, and Madara still used Susanoo. Therefore, it also proved that being strong is not a wooden escape. It's the 1st generation of Hokage, it's his immortal body. In short, even the same ninjutsu consumes the same amount of chakra. Possessing the power displayed by the immortal body, it must be far beyond ordinary ninjas. This is the most terrifying part of the immortal body. This whole body transformation is much longer than before. It lasted nearly 10 minutes before it was finally over. Just finished. Natsume could clearly feel the terrifying strength and chakra increase in his body. And the cell activity that is dozens of times higher than that of ordinary people. I just feel that, in my current state, 10 times a night. Cough d. 7 times a night, it should be fine. At the same time, the terrifying increase in strength made Natsume couldn't help but want to try it. The next moment, Natsume flicked his fingers slightly. Jang.d. The violent chakra vented out, directly shaking all the spring water in the entire pool, and floating up one after another. A large cloud of hazy and dreamy colorful suspended snowflakes was formed. Then, the endless snowflakes quickly gathered into a huge water ball, and it spiraled rapidly. Obviously, after possessing the immortal body. Natsume's knowledge of chakra's shape change and transformation between properties has been greatly improved in an instant. With just one thought, you can easily control the changes and transformations of chakra. It's outrageous. And such a magical scene, and Natsume's terrifying aura soared instantly. It even scared a certain Three Tails, hiding at the bottom of the pool, trembling. Wow.d. Natsume let go of this chakra. The huge water polo fell and turned into a pool of spring water again. Then, Natsume excitedly clicked on the personal panel of the system and checked it. Host, Natsume. Attributes, fire, water, wind, thunder, earth, yin, yang. Chakra, 1,800 calories. Ninjutsu, Flying Thunder God Jutsu, S level. Time-Space Ninjutsu, 8 Gates Doinja Formation, S level. Physical Jutsu, Spiritualization Jutsu, S level. Soul Ninjutsu. Blood Successor Boundary, Sharingan, Eternal Kaleidoscope, Samsara I, 18%. Physical Skills, Millennium Killing, 1000 Flame Knife. Special Skill, the Method of Chakra Extraction. Special Weapon, Knife. Current balance, 892 gold coins. At this moment, looking at the 1800 calories on the system template, and feeling the vast ocean-like chakra in the body, Natsume smiled brightly again. Good guy. Compared with the twofold increase of the intercolumn cells transplanted before, this time the complete, immortal body, directly doubled Natsume's chakra by a full 50 times. 1800 cards ah. The chakra reserves comparable to the tail beast level. Even, from 1 tail to 7 tails, there may not necessarily be such a large amount of chakra. Moreover, Natsume is very clear. This is not the limit of my immortal body. Just keep exercising and keep tapping your body's potential. It will definitely continue to break through. Continue to become stronger. Even if the increase in chakra is increased to hundreds of times, it is not possible. After all, whether it is Ashura, the son of the immortal, or the first Hokage pillar, they are not born invincible. It is also through step-by-step exercise and development that he has obtained the power to reach the pinnacle. It can be seen that the potential of immortal body is indeed amazing. Of course, apart from these obvious increases. On the personal template of the system, the extremely conspicuous Reincarnation Eye progress of 18% also made Natsume quite concerned.